I'm going to talk about Paris Hilton on her latest podcast. Calls me out for jokes that I did about her when I hosted the 2007 MTV Movie Awards.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Can you believe that Sarah Silverman finally apologized to Paris Hilton for the joke she made about her at the 2007 MTV Movie Awards after 14 years? Continue watching to find out how Hilton reacted to all of this. But before we continue, we would thank our growing supporters on this channel. You guys are amazing! And for all of you that aren't already part of our awesome community, don't forget to subscribe now for daily videos like this to appear on your feed. How did all of this start in the first place? Back in 2007, Silverman made fun of Paris Hilton after she got sent to jail during the first MTV Movie Awards. Now, the reason why Paris was arrested was due to breaking the rules while driving. A prior arrest for a similar reason only made matters worse for Paris. This arrest was primarily made because authorities suspected a DUI from this prior arrest. Upon receiving this news, Silverman started making fun of Paris by saying that now that she has been sent off to prison, the guards need to step up their game and start painting pink male private parts all over the prison bars for Hilton to feel more comfortable. Let's face it, the joke was pretty good and even made us chuckle to some extent, but in the end, it was still a pretty mean thing to say, and the worst part of it was that Silverman didn't even apologize for her statement for over a decade. She finally apologized on the podcast. After 14 years, Silverman decided to speak up on the matter on the Sarah Silverman podcast just a couple of weeks ago. In the podcast, Silverman shared her side of the story, claiming that people were going crazy and losing their minds for what she said about Paris Hilton. For a slight moment, she felt like she might have said something legendary that would be remembered for the rest of MTV history. But when she finally saw Hilton's face, Silverman immediately felt horrible and she regretted her statement. In the podcast, she claimed that even though she was thrilled, Paris Hilton's facial expression at that moment was just heartbreaking. Silverman then realized that Hilton was just a human, and apart from appearing like a spoiled brat, she did make mistakes and also gets hurt from jokes made about her. Silverman then revealed that she felt horrible for the days that followed. Since guilt was eating at her from inside, she decided to write Paris Hilton an apology letter, explaining that she felt horrible for what she had done, but never heard back from Paris. This left Silverman uncertain on whether Paris had forgiven her or not, so the regret continued to live on with Silverman for the following years. Silverman knew that one apology letter wasn't enough. The stand-up comedian kept on having a feeling inside her that maybe Paris didn't get the letter that she sent, so after 14 years, she made her apology public for the whole world to see. "I am so sorry. I'm now much more understanding of my mistake," Silverman said in her podcast. This apology went viral, and Paris was destined to look back at that mortifying moment all over again. The 2007 comments that made her feel like the most embarrassed she had ever felt in her life, and she later talked about it, claiming that she felt like running out of the room in tears after Silverman had said that about her. Paris also said that even though the audience was laughing at her, only she knew what problems she was facing during that period. Paris Hilton's interesting response. Paris' sister, Nikki Rothschild, was the first to respond to the comments Silverman had made. Nikki called them vile and disgusting statements that were nothing but perverted. Nikki also added, there was no way that Silverman would have gotten away with these nasty comments if she would have made them today. But Hilton's response was much more interesting, as she also reacted to an interview she had made with David Letterman in 2007, where she is almost convinced that David was aiming to humiliate her. She stated that before this interview, she had not been part of other interviews just because she didn't want to confront the whole thing that had happened with Silverman. And when she did decide to interview with David, she agreed with the PR team that the topic regarding Silverman would not get mentioned. The reason she wanted to do the interview in the first place was to promote her new perfume and other business projects she was dealing with during that time. But the interviewer was just pushing her in many different ways to get her to talk about the humiliating comment. Paris politely asked David to stop mentioning anything related to that topic during the first commercial break. However, he didn't listen to her and would try to provoke her along the interview. Hilton then ended the interview by telling him that she was going to never step foot on the show again. But despite all that happening, Paris Hilton is accepting Silverman's apology. The 40-year-old American media personality made an unexpected statement on an episode of This Is Paris just a couple of weeks ago, after the 50-year-old stand-up comedian had gone public issuing the apology for her mean comment towards Paris back in 2007. At first, Hilton was surprised, as she didn't expect any apology. She revealed that she was pleased that the comedian had finally taken the courage to apologize to her publicly for 8 straight minutes, and to no one's expectations, Hilton reacted very kind-heartedly to the whole situation. Maybe this was linked to the fact that the whole thing had happened more than a decade ago. Hilton said that Silverman was so sweet and genuine for what she had done, and this moved her. Paris also added that she could understand that Silverman had no intention of hurting her feelings and that the apology came straight from her heart. Another thing that Silverman confessed during her apology was that she wasn't aware that Paris was a part of the audience. Hilton said that she never got an apology letter. The night of the MTV Music Awards was truly horrible for Hilton, and she expressed that she was always waiting for Silverman to apologize for what she had said. But even though Silverman had written an apology letter just a couple of days after the comments, Paris never received such a letter. Hilton also noted that she secretly wanted Silverman to apologize to her, even after all this time, as both Paris and her sister Nikki had brought up the whole thing a couple of episodes ago in Hilton's podcast. But even though this incident took place, Paris revealed that she has always been a fan of Silverman's comedy. Paris Hilton was also glad that Silverman had matured enough both in person and by the way she does comedy. She's finally realized that making fun of people's problems or flaws just to make an audience laugh isn't the way to go. Hilton later added that she thought Silverman was a hilarious stand-up comedian, and she always laughed at her jokes. However, Paris never liked whenever Silverman made fun of other celebrities. Hilton even got a little too emotional at Silverman's apology, and both the women are now happy that they can start a clean, fresh slate together. Well, now that we have finally found out that they ended up happily ever after together, we would also like to talk about another highly discussed topic, which has to do with the whole cheating scandal that split Bryce Hall from Addison Rae. Samantha Salvador has finally decided to tell the truth about Bryce being a cheater. The drama between Addison Rae and Bryce Hall had the whole internet shook when Addison accused Bryce of being a cheater. But things were about to spice up a bit once Samantha Salvador, otherwise known as Samantha, decided to speak up about Bryce. There have recently been rumors spreading that Bryce and Samantha hooked up when they were both in Las Vegas working on a project. Of course, Bryce denied these accusations, but that didn't mean that the Bradison couple wasn't in hot water after these rumors started spreading rapidly. Many claimed that Bryce was filming a vlog in Las Vegas and that he was doing a collaboration with Samantha. Even though there wasn't any proof to show both of them kissing or even entering a hotel together, fans were bombarding Addison with messages saying that Bryce had cheated on her. Just a few days ago, Bryce made an angry tweet denying that he had ever cheated on Addison, but things didn't stop there. Samantha decided to speak up about the whole situation and to address what Bryce did in Las Vegas. Just one day after Bryce had posted on Twitter, she posted a series of Instagram stories explaining that she originally met Bryce through a mutual friend they both had. She further explained that she met Bryce completely for business and networking matters, so that both of them could talk about future projects and even meet new people they could do business with for their profits. Samantha later explained that she was with Bryce and their mutual friend until 2 a.m. working on the project. She made it clear that there was no sexual tension between the two and nothing disloyal happened between them. Bryce FaceTimed Addison a couple times that day and the pair looked quite happy. Samantha continued saying that Bryce was very professional and handled himself well and made it clear to everyone he met that he was in a committed relationship. Samantha promised viewers that she would reveal even the smallest detail of Bryce acting sketchy or too affectionate with her, as she has a lot of respect for Addison. All of this information was clarified after Samantha found out that Bryce and Addison were on the verge of breaking up. She also decided to speak up about the matter after she had heard that Bryce had gone out with Tanya Mungo during the weekend. Even though Addison happened to be in the same restaurant as them, the couple were spotted ignoring each other completely. Samantha commented on the whole situation, stating that everything had been blown out of proportion for no reason, but all of these rumors might have worked in splitting up Addison, as we haven't heard anything about the relationship ever since. Do you think that Addison and Bryce will get back together after Samantha's response in the matter? Let us know down below in the comments. Smash that like button if you like this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.